ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. 90 years ago today, Torontonians gathered around this just completed cenotaph for the first time to remember. This solid memorial, a sad but proud place, was originally inscribed with the words, "To all who served." It was then pointed out that the word cenotaph comes from the notion of an empty tomb, and the words were changed to what you see on the front of this cenotaph today, "To our glorious dead." We're assembled here today to reflect on those two sentences, to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice, but also to pay tribute to all who served and who continue to serve. Throughout our history, Toronto has lost men and women to the Great War, World War II, the Korean War, and in battles in Kuwait, Afghanistan, and other theaters and peacekeeping missions around the world. Our city is also home to so many people who have arrived here from places that are also affected by war historically and to this day. As time passes, and as our city continues to change, we must think about the ways in which we can remember. At 61 years of age, I'm part of a generation that was born after the World Wars. My father was only 15 at the end of the Second World War. The average age of World War II veterans, and we're so pleased that some of them could be here with us today, but the average age of World War II veterans alive today was 91. First-hand accounts of the world wars and other conflicts are no longer easily available to us. But we can gather here and read the names that are inscribed on our monuments and continue to assemble every year on this day, at this time, to remember. We owe it to those who were lost over the years because the sacrifice was so big by so many for so much. In World War I alone, for example, more than 66,000 Canadians made the ultimate sacrifice. More than 172,000 were wounded in battle, and many left with physical and emotional scars and tragic memories of their friends and loved ones. Across the country, 650,000 Canadians served in the Great War, including about 4,000 Aboriginal Canadians who enlisted at that time. Because of the enormity of those numbers, of that loss, we sometimes inadvertently overlook the veterans of other, more recent conflicts who walk among us today. Our country and our city are home to those who have served and sacrificed long ago, and more recently, including those who continue to serve today. I was honored yesterday by a visit to my office by a group of Canadian Armed Forces members who were returning a flag that we'd sent to them to fly over Camp Canada in Iraq while they were serving there. That flag has now been returned and is hanging in the mayor's office. It was a timely reminder of the fact that war is not a thing of the past, and I encourage the people of Toronto to take some time today and every day to think about those who continue to serve our country and to offer them your support and your respect. Jose Naroski has written that in war there are no unwounded soldiers, and it is our collective responsibility to care for and to support our veterans of all ages and to make sure that their hidden wounds do not go unaddressed. I also want to take a moment to speak to the younger generations in this city, those whose experiences of war may be distant, who may not know of anyone who has served or sacrificed. Just a few weeks ago, I had a group of young students in my office. They looked out the window onto Nathan Phillips Square and saw a protest taking place, and they asked me what was going on. And I explained how lucky we were to live in a civic democracy where people were free to express themselves. And just a couple of weeks after that, just a couple of weeks ago, our country peacefully and democratically elected a new government, and a transition took place in that peaceful, seamless way that Canadians have come to expect. And it does seem to me sometimes as if we fail to connect these dots, that we take for granted the freedoms and the sacrifices that make our peaceful, stable, respectful democratic process possible.